We're back in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. You might have seen us for about a split second earlier, but just ignore that. We weren't ready. We're ready now. It's On the Money podcast here live from the On the Money Sports Lounge in the theater section of the On the Money Sports Lounge with the movie theater posters in the background, as you can see, snacks up against the wall. And tonight we got a plethora of topics to discuss. Training camp right around the corner. Players reporting, some players holding out for different reasons. And when I listed my topics, I looked at them and I said to myself, damn, a lot of wide receivers still in the headlines once again. But before we get into that, I am Irrational, one half of the Mega Powers of Podcasting, and alongside me, as always, the commissioner of the On the Money Sports League and the Elite 8 League, none other than Oscar O Money Muniz.
What's going on, folks? It's Wednesday night, hump night. We're 2 days away from the weekend. Everybody can enjoy. Hopefully the weather will be nice and it'll cooperate. We won't get as much as rain as we've been getting lately, and everybody can go out and enjoy, the summer, because we're already at the halfway point of July. And you know what that means? Once you start getting to the halfway point of July, you're that much closer to September, which thus turns into college football and the NFL itself taking over the world. And I just got an alert from Mikey, so I had to check, because he is a member of the fabulous Free Birds of podcasting between us.
Jersey Triad, baby.
We got to make sure. The Jersey Triad, R.I.P. Bam Bam, R.I.P. Canyon. So we're getting closer to that. I believe today the Chargers reported to training camp because they are actually playing in 2 weeks from tomorrow night, the first game of the season, the Hall of Fame game. Of course, nobody's starters will be playing, but a lot of us are just fiending for football in any format that we're going to watch that Hall of Fame game, and we're going to enjoy it and just say to ourselves, this is terrible football, but we're back.
You take it any way you can get it.
Because people like me and him, we're going to be watching that game to see, so who's still out on the waiver wire? What did he do this week? Maybe I could put him on my taxi squad if he's available.
A lot of teams are going to be making official cuts. There's going to be some tough decisions made. So that's going to directly impact a lot of the dynasty rosters out there with some of the potential flyers that you've got, your taxi squad. And that brings me to a point, not to jump ahead too much, but I mentioned it to you. I mentioned it to Mikey when we did that mock draft last week. I don't do as many of them as I used to, but in this case, when I started doing them, these last couple of times that we did them together, I used those mock drafts to sort of evaluate my dynasty team and kingpins, like seeing where certain players were, seeing who was still left behind on waivers. Because remember, they're going based off of the current rankings to this point, which are going to change when we get into August. But it's just a very interesting way to be able to take what we do in those mocks and then compare it to what we've got going on with our lineups in kingpins and see more or less, okay, is this guy worth keeping? Can I let this guy go? Because, the computer's basically saying this guy's going to end up being on the waivers anyway when all is said and done in a 31-round draft. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's very, it could be a very useful tool based on what we're trying to do here, where we're getting ready to draft for one dynasty league and we're only in the second year of the Kingpins League with what we've got going on. Mike D.
What up, Mike?
As I make my point about how the mock drafts have been helpful for us with our dynasty rosters. I've been making some tough decisions with some of the drops I've had to make last couple of days. It's just you don't got room for everybody, and we're at that point now. We're in the middle of July. Next thing you know, like you said, we've got the Hall of Fame game coming up. There's going to be preseason football coming up. We are 50 days away from the opening of the NFL season already. So I ain't got time to just be, fostering, players.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Players that ain't even going to be seeing the field, or if they do see the field, it's by the circumstances of somebody else going down, this, that, and the third, whatever the case is. I just need my stallions to be in their spots so that when football time comes, I'm ready to execute.
I'm looking forward to watching O'Marion Hampton.
Football, baby. That's right.
I don't think O'Marion Hampton's going to play a lot in the Hall of Fame game either.
But one thing that we know right now, based on the report that came out today, is the fact that O'Marion Hampton could be seeing a whole lot of playing time early in the season because the Chargers have reportedly put Najee Harris on the NFI list. It's not expected to be for a long stay. However, it's one of those things that it's going to be interesting to monitor moving forward. And for sure, clears the path for Marion Hampton to be, dare I say, the bell cow running back for the Los Angeles Chargers as they start their season against the Kansas City Chiefs week 1. And moving forward, there's a lot of expectations on the Chargers this year. There's a lot of people liking the Chargers, a lot of people drafting the Chargers because they feel like they're going to be able to give Kansas City a real run for their money this year with what they've got going on out there. And, you know, Harbaugh.
A lot of people are very high on them Chargers, boy.
A healthy year of Herbert. He was, he's a little banged up. Now he's back. He's healthy. He's got another weapon in Trey Harris, who coincidentally did not show up to training camp. So right off the bat,
Harris, Mike.
The Los Angeles Chargers are becoming a very, very interesting talking point with everything going on. Not just the fireworks that, I don't know, Najee jacked up his eye. I don't know what he actually did, but he was just, it wasn't a Jason Pierre-Paul type of deal, like not that serious, but still serious enough to where he is on the non-football injury list. And it's just a question of how long he's actually going to be on there. What are your thoughts on that? Is it a Marion Hampton season?
If it is, let's go.
Yeah. You'd be the main benefactor. And it helps you out. It takes pressure off you with this whole Quinshon Judkins situation because it's sounding pretty bad.
We're not talking about this today.
We have to. We have to discuss it. It's important. It's relevant.
I haven't seen the details because somebody tried to make it seem like they think the Chargers are going to be dropped.
I got a screenshot here of the actual report.
A lot of the
Browns running back Quinshon Judkins, whose accuser told police that he punched her with a closed fist in the chin/lip area and later struck her in the left arm and thigh while they were in a car leaving the airport on July 7th. And then it has a screenshot of the entire report per Tom Pelissero, who shared the entire thing July 14th.
That's got suspension written all over it next year.
Yeah. Your boy.
He's going to get away with it. He's going to be able to play this season because it's just going to be like the Alvin Kamara situation, just like the Jordan Addison situation is about to play out right now, where he's probably going to miss 3 games this year.
Yeah, he's going to get a 3-game suspension. Aren't you you're generating interest for?
Yes, I have been.
Jordan Addison.
So I'm thinking about jettisoning him before that suspension comes. And I wanted to keep him because I feel like, it's a contract year. Like, he should ball out.
Right. I mean, they're an attractive offense when you look at everything that they've got going on out there in Minnesota, and you've got so many people that like having blind faith in what JJ McCarthy could still be. You know what I mean? And just ready to bypass the injury last year and move forward and treat this like year 1 for him, which it actually is. Mm-hmm. But you've got the addition of a Jordan Mason. You've got, which we'll talk about in a little bit, the second best wide receiver in football in Justin Jefferson. TJ Hawkinson out there. Aaron Jones can still give you a little bit.
He has opportunities. The last month of the season last year, he was balling.
Him and the 30 other guys from the second round. Tagging some of the boys so they can get up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, kick back, relax, share, and like. Oh, let me finish sharing and liking the podcast myself. I'm telling you guys to do it, and I'm not even doing it. I got to pin it first to make it official so that you guys can see it.
Already pinned it on the On the Money Sports
beautiful
Facebook page. Make sure you guys are tuning into that page. And then after you tune into that page, make sure you're heading off and joining the On the Money Sports fan forum, answering the easy questions that we give you. That way we know we don't got no bots.
Yeah.
Because things are about to get real.
We've done a pretty good job as far as
and understand that during the football season, you may not be able to be part of the exclusive On the Money Sports leagues. However, Mike D runs a daily fantasy every Sunday.
You got to jump into that. You're part of the On the Money Sports fan forum. You've got to jump into our DFS weekly challenge because it's getting better and better every single year. It's more people in it, the more money will be put out, and then it's our opportunity to be able to compete against each other with those daily lineups for DFS and be able to post about it, talk about it on Sundays. You know how it is. Just like with your fantasy football lineups, you're looking through your lineups, you're you're getting past the early portion of the football games, and now you're going into the 4 o'clock. So just gives us something else to be able to talk about and share. I do try to, get the thread going on Sunday mornings with the starts and sits. That's all coming back. Like, all that good stuff is coming back. Like, this is like one of the best times of the year. You know what I mean? Like, for the last 9 seasons, me and this guy right here, well, more than 9 seasons, 9 times 4, 36. So for a long, long time, we've sat here and we've got you ready. The podcast started in August of 2017. Am I correct?
Yep.
2017, back in August.
3-hour episode
with this
that I did in 2 parts on audio.
Yeah. And
complete NFL breakdown and SummerSlam 2017 that year.
And as the world turns, we're getting right back to where we started now as we head into the middle of July, and we're getting ready to break down all things football, including takes that are hotter than the weather outside. Weekly DFS League, we're back this year on DraftKings. Links will be in the forum every Sunday morning. Mikey's been posting them. He posts them in the Sick Picks forum. Make sure you join. Make sure you lock in. If we don't have the opportunity to be in leagues together, we can at the very least go toe-to-toe on Sundays and just create havoc, man. Like, and somebody will be able to walk out of there making a good amount of money. 3 people, actually. Top 3 get paid. So, it's a good opportunity. It's just another fun activity to be able to do this time of year. And it's going to be pretty interesting because when you're setting up your DFS lineup, you're looking at prices, you're looking at value. And in the last couple of weeks on the podcast, we've talked rankings, we've talked value, we've went through top 5s, and this is the time of year where you have the board set up one way. And then as we get towards the end of August into the beginning of September, some things may shift, some things may stay the same. You may feel even better about some of the takes that you're making, just like me with Jaden Daniels, just boom, put it on the board. I told you he was going to be something. I told you the fact that he was going to be something is why the Commanders were going to be something. And the fact that now we're going into year 2.
Oh, you know what? I should check.
With Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, who are in the headlines for multiple different reasons. And it's a matter of, is it going to be the year 2 sophomore slump? Or is Jaden Daniels about to propel himself into the top 5 quarterback conversation with another stellar season by him and those Washington Commanders? Are they about to double down and show people, like, we're not just a flash in the pan. We're here to stay on the NFC side. We're here to make some noise. We're here to compete for the division and, dare I say, try to get ourselves back into the NFC Championship.
We'll see.
We will.
Might have it by Friday.
Oh, the nameplate?
Yeah, just wanted to check it for you just real quick.
It's
been stuck in Kansas City, Tennessee area. Look at that. He went to Tennessee to Kansas City.
Stopped everywhere, getting blessed.
The irony of that, huh?
Going back to all the places where my heart broke. Just to come, all the places where I died, just to come back to me. And, just come back full circle and be that the last gem to my glove of power, to be able to just put it on, to solidify my name amongst the greats who wore that title as I proceed to go into 2025 ready to defend.
This past week, the Dynasty chat was live.
It's picking up.
I will say that.
So I was getting active, man. I was having conversations. There's a lot of trades right now getting sent, a lot of trades getting declined, trades getting discussed. There's a lot happening. It's an active time of year. We hope.
I got offered a second-round pick for Brock Purdy. Too little?
Second for Brock. 1 quarterback league.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you counter with? You just left it there?
Yeah, I've been looking at it.
2026 second?
Yeah.
I like Brock Purdy this year, man. And I might be in the minority in this, but I kind of like the 49ers this year. It's not just the fact that they have the easiest schedule in football after having a rough season, so they're going to get blessed with a schedule that's going to be manageable, And there's a lot of question marks.
George Kittle's wide receiver 1 still.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already on the topic because he's going to be a topic tonight with the 49ers. What does Juwan Jennings do for them? Like, are they in a spot where they can let him walk, or are they in a spot where they can trade him?
They have 5 days.
I feel like he has all the leverage right now.
He requested a trade knowing that there was going to be a short timeline in which they needed to either pay him the money he wants or trade him. I don't know what the number is that he actually wants. I'm not totally sure as far as that goes. However, he put the 49ers in a position where it would, dare I say, behoove them to pay that man, because right now we're talking about the current wide receiver 1 for the San Francisco 49ers. Ricky Pearsall is another great option. They've got a couple of other wide receivers out there that are going to get opportunities. You've got Watkins. You've got Robinson, who's another guy to look out for because he could be facing a potential suspension because of a DUI situation similar to Addison.
The trade with Hyatt was disgusting and disrespectful. What did I miss?
Oh, I traded Jalen Hyatt for DeMarcus Robinson.
Ugh. That means nothing.
What's disgusting and disrespectful
it's a wash.
about it? It's there. Look, I'll show you right now, because I'm tracking all these guys and everything. So I'll show, it's just I like one better than the other.
Still saw no notification. I got to work on that, Chris, because I feel like we should have a lot more people tuned in right now.
That's who I got in the trade, and that's who I traded away.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, there's nothing much there.
I got the 121 for the 124th.
Yeah,
that's basically it. It wasn't the prettiest deal out there, but I'm not worried about
right,
making
though.
those crazy
Something
type of
isn't
deals.
right, because I feel like the pundits out there are trying to stop us from growing, because everybody used to get notifications
Still saw
when we went live. So I don't understand why nobody's getting, because right now we're missing a lot of usual suspects who probably aren't getting those notifications as well.
That's interesting. We're
gonna have to set that up and see what's going on.
That's interesting. You can't slow us down, bro. Maybe it's just something on our end that we need to be. I threw the hashtags out there. I was ready. I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. It's podcast night. I'm excited.
All the way to the stratosphere on the Money Sports.
It might be. Remember that little robot alien friend that I deleted?
The AI bot?
Our AI friend.
I'm going to ask Grok when we're done. So, why are my people not getting notifications?
Ask Grok if we could find the other robot.
Yeah.
And bring it back in so that he could help us. And then all this stuff is going to. Like, I didn't want anybody to infiltrate. You know, I'm very protective of On the Money Sports, On the Money Podcast, bro. I saw that and I was like, oh, they're trying to get us. It's gonna wash away everything that we've
put. It's the NBA game all over again.
Yeah, so I sat there and I said to myself, I'm about to use my powers right now and I'm about to delete this thing. Lo and behold, it might have been like a Wally the robot that was trying to help us and be our friend.
It was Wally.
And help us get us information a lot quicker.
It sure as hell wasn't Soundwave.
Hyatt over Robinson. Why? If it's disgusting and disrespectful, then why?
Is Robinson they're with
Robinson's with the 49ers.
Oh, okay.
So I got myself a 49ers wide receiver in a situation where there's going to be opportunity for
now you got two 49er wide receiver, because
Brandon Ayuk ain't coming back till mid-October.
What we're waiting for in the Jennings trade in real life, you went ahead, made the offer, got the deal done for a second-round pick, brought Jennings into fold, because me and you both agreed Ayuk is going to be out at least to mid-October, maybe come back November, and he still might not be himself.
Yeah, you got that time period where you come back, and it's just like.
So then that leaves you a Ricky Pearsall, Jennings, DeMarcus Robinson, and wide receiver 1/tight end George Kittles.
Yep.
So I think the 49ers are in a tough spot here right now. If you don't sign him, you're prepared to let him walk at the end of the year, or it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Chris.
Oh, damn, Chris, what time you went in today?
All day, bro.
Chris works for the city now, right?
Kick back and relax now, bro.
Chris, you work for the city now, right?
Mm-hmm. And congrats to Salson Wilson getting paid by the Jets. Was shocked to see the Jets signing young talent to longer deals. Yeah, that wasn't something that was their DNA in the past. They're locking in their young core talent and hoping to ride the wave now moving forward with Justin Fields.
They got their quarterback they signed in the offseason, who's pretty much guaranteed to be there 2 years. 7-7, man.
To get back to the Niners though, I like their outlook for this year. They're being slept on this year, and we know another thing with the San Francisco 49ers is when they're healthy, They go pretty far. When they're hurt
One
like
thing we know about the 49ers, when they
on
get to the
IL type
playoffs,
shit.
they're either going to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game. That's how it's been for them. When they get to the playoffs.
They do
all right?
damage. That's
Except
for
the Rams year when the Rams. Oh no, that was the championship game when the Rams beat them.
Yeah.
So
I was having this conversation when I was rocking MLB the show. I was actually talking to a 49ers fan, and I was saying how
this guy,
like my boy Jordan, he's a San Francisco 49ers fan, and you know, I was saying how I like San Fran's outlook for this year. I could see 10-7 in the realm of possibility. However, if you're asking me who I'm putting money on to win the West, I gotta go with LA.
Rams.
To me, they are the clear-cut favorite to do it in a year where them and the 49ers can both make
these guys having a sidebar. So these two must have been going at in the chat.
Oh no, I'm not totally sure. My humidity robbed me from my lunch money. Yeah, it was no joke.
Listen, as soon as I got done work today, I jumped in my pool.
I decided to go outside and cut the grass at like 3:00. Like
should have waited till like 5.
I thought it was actually gonna rain, so I didn't want to risk waiting. I saw it get a little cloudy, and I was like, oh, I can beat the rain. So I just did the front real quick, weed whack, and I got inside. I beat the clock. It turns out no rain ever came.
Yeah,
so.
As soon as I got home, I jumped right into that pool.
It was hot shit outside.
So I know, Chris, terrible. I know. I mean, I'm not outdoors, but I'm working in a warehouse that just has fans blowing around hot air.
Yeah, Niners got to pay John Jennings. What you going to trade him for in 5 days?
I don't know if they pay him.
He put them on notice.
I think Jennings is going to play this year out with them, and then he's going to walk, and someone's going to offer him a boatload of cash. He has an opportunity this season to ball out. If he can get over 1,200 yards, that's all he's got to do. Get to 1,000 to 1,200 yards and like 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
This guy is going to get a deal averaging about 27 to 30 million a year. So that is unbelievably crazy because I think that's what's going to happen. I drove home with no shirt on. The rain, you know what? The rain has been brutal in up North Jersey, and hopefully everybody, not even New Jersey, Texas, the whole South, I hope everybody is all right down there. I hope the efforts are going smooth. I'm sorry about all those people who lost a loved one down there. We feel for you. We're sorry for you. It sucks, but just got to, it sucks. And so I'm praying for all those people for peace.
Yeah, for real.
Peace in mind.
Oh, yeah. It's a kind of...
And up north, people up here in Jersey, they don't know how to act with a flood. They're still freaking trying to drive through it, like drive backwards, you momo. Like,
yeah, it was freaking crazy, bro.
It reminds me of the days when we worked at Burger King and we'd get crazy right by that entranceway on Main Road. Remember the entranceway would be like waist high, and people were still trying to, like, why?
Yeah. But it's funny because, like, we're talking Niners and we're talking Commanders, and they kind of intertwine to a certain extent because remember how Jaden Daniels wanted to bring Ayuk in, and in retrospect, like looking back on it, good on the Commanders' ownership to be like, we don't want to deal with Ayuk.
I know you just put that up, but Mikey,
like, we don't want
just made
Brandon
a great
Ayuk.
comment here. I wonder how far guys will fall in drafts now due to their current situations. Terry, Jennings, and Addison.
Well, this
is all tied together because we're going to talk about Terry. You were just about to talk about Terry.
I think Jennings is going to be a more appealing grab in drafts because people already know that they're still going to be able to get a wide receiver 1 in the first month and a half in the season at a value. You're still not going to be paying for Jennings. Like, we get to that 8th, 9th round. That's around the time where he should be out there. If you're reaching for him higher than that, then hey, it is what it is. And everybody's out there really just going after what they want. But
you got what you wanted.
I feel like he's the one that
don't bitch about it.
He's the one that won't fall down the board compared to the other names. Now, with Terry McLaurin, his situation, apparently, according to him, the Commanders have not reached out to him about talks of an extension for a month. This is, based off of what I was reading from the Fantasy Pros app that I have to keep track of all the players and all the information that I need. So Scary Terry is still talking about the fact that he's disgruntled with the situation out there. I feel as though the organization not speaking to you about an extension for over a month is a way of saying something without actually saying something.
Here's
the
something
fact
that
is he's 27 years old right now, and the Washington Commanders are probably thinking to themselves, our most talented player is our quarterback, Jaden Daniels. We go where he goes, so Jaden Daniels can make somebody else for less money look really, really good, and we can be able to be a competitive football team within our division and our conference without having to dish out the money for our wide receiver that we really don't want to pay. They don't want to pay him. They do not want to pay Scary Terry.
Here's pretty much thanks to Grok. Shout out to Grok for making this for me. Washington Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin, nicknamed Scary Terry, expressed frustration over ongoing contract negotiations, speaking to reporters on Tuesday. He indicated he's unsure about reporting to training camp without a new deal. This follows a strong 2024 season. His potential absence could disrupt the Commanders' offensive plans and affect fantasy football outlooks, where he's ranked as wide receiver 17 in a 2025 PPR mock draft. That's Grok saying this. Grok has been on point.
Thanks, Grok.
Mr. Musk, you made a great AI app. He does a lot of great things for us. He's going to make my job so much easier on podcast night. Do you think the rookie the Bengals drafted first round will pull the F this card and go back to All right, so let me break this down. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to ask Grok. Can Jamal Stewart go back to college?
Yeah, I think Addison gets suspended as far as that. That's the one wide receiver I haven't mentioned out of the three. Addison's getting suspended. And that's one of those things, again, where you could potentially get yourself top wide receivers that can stabilize your starting lineup and then find a way to sneak a Jordan Addison pick in there in the, dare I say, 6th, 7th round. I don't know. I'm not totally sure because I didn't really look at his ADP going into this for redraft. I've kind of been in like dynasty mode. So it's like, for redraft leagues, it's kind of a different animal. However, I do know, drafting with these guys, through the years, we've had controversial situations come up where there's a certain player that's facing some type of suspension, Alvin Kamara, you know what I mean? Different players over the years where eventually you see him get picked up. It's just a matter of, like Mikey said, how low down the board they go before somebody just says, screw it.
So Grok just gave me a ton of information about Shamar Stewart. He cannot easily return to college football due to NCAA regulations, but there are new nuances to consider based on recent developments in the evolving landscaping of college athletics. NCAA rules and under current NCAA rules, players who enter the draft are selected lose their college credibility. Once a player declares for the draft in the January deadline for underclassmen withdrawal passes, they cannot return to college football. This is a long-standing rule as seen in historical cases like Bo Jackson, who lost NCAA eligibility after engaging with an NFL team. Stewart, having been drafted, falls under this restriction, making a return to Texas A&M legally challenging without intervention. Stewart's situation stems from the contract dispute with the Bengals, who are attempting to include a default clause in his rookie deal that could void future guaranteed money for issues like suspensions or off-field conduct. Stewart and his agent Zach Hiller are resisting this, seeking terms consistent with previous Bengals first-round picks. As a result, Stewart has not signed this contract and has been training at Texas A&M facilities, sparking speculation about a return to college. Reports clarify he is not practicing with the team, but he's using their facilities, common practice for NFL players in the offseason. Some analysts like CBS Sports' Bud Elliott and Pro Football Talk's Mark Florio suggest Stewart could challenge NCAA rules through litigation, potentially under antitrust laws, given recent successful challenges to the NCAA regulations. If Stewart pursued this, a legal battle could delay or enable his return, though it's not guaranteed. For example, Elliott noted that baseball allows drafted players to return to college, questioning why football couldn't follow suit with court intervention. And the CBA also kind of makes it hard for him to do so as well. Because even if he went back, he would still be owned by the Bengals in 2026. However, if he was to hold out the entire year, he goes back into the draft. But that means he can't play. However, he could play in another league, the CFL or XFL. Because technically, just because you were drafted by the Bengals doesn't mean he's not under contract by the Bengals. So therefore, he could go play for the Canadian League.
Oh, okay.
So there's routes he can take. The Bengals are just bangling around. The Bengals have been cutting defensive players left and right this entire offseason. So it would help if they get him in there. It would behoove them for a team that was giving up almost 28, 29 points a game on average, where Joe Burrow was putting up 32 points and still losing.
Yeah.
So
the narrative going into the season is that their defense is not going to be good. We just
Joe's
got to see what it looks like on the field.
They need Joe to put up what he did last year, but can he replicate another 5,000, 40-some touchdowns?
Why not?
I do believe he has no choice.
You have to throw the ball because
and you don't know what you're getting.
And
who's going to run the ball? Is Chase Brown going to be healthy?
It's going to be Chase
to do
Brown,
what he has to do.
It's going to be Taj Brooks. Taj Brooks is going to come in there, and he's going to be, in the words of Chris Berman, he's going to be the one to go through the middle and put the hurt on guys, and Chase Brown is going to continue to be the one to be able to make the plays, pass catcher, whatever the case is. I think there's going to be a heavy dose of Taj Brooks in that run game
right now.
I don't know, bro. I think Debo might fall. Like there's nobody.
I think we're overdoing with the whole Debo Samuel thing. I think we're making too big of a deal about this weight issue. Because nobody was making it a big deal last year when he was healthy. In the times that he had, that whole team was decimated.
Well, the 49ers wanted to take Debo Samuel and run him up the middle, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
So Shanahan needs to be held responsible for the fact that Shanahan's always getting his players hurt, bro. They're all getting hurt. They're all banged up. You can't
How much longer does this guy stay coaching?
You have
his team.
Debo is the reason why you have wide receivers running the football, basically, but you can't run a wide receiver up the gut like a running back. You have to be able to use
Do we need
him.
to infiltrate an NFC West forum so we can see how 49er fans really feel about Shanahan? Because their patience has to be
in one. I think I'm in one if they didn't kick me out yet.
It's just like
I've been in one for
it's just
like
like you as Yankees fans. Aaron Boone is wearing on your last nerves.
The Yankees all get on my nerves. But I also remember how the 49ers fans treated Debo Samuel and the things they were saying about Debo Samuel. Like, that stuff got really personal for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, no
one's blaming Shanahan for what happened to Purcell. That was a crazy.
No, that's just a crazy situation. We can blame you for having the most players injured in the past 5 years.
He overthinks his shit. Like, he tries to be smarter than the other person. And yeah, you can do that, but you don't run your wide receiver, a running back right up the middle. No. His thing is end around, like the wide receiver sweeps. That's what makes him so dangerous. Debo will be a non-factor. All right, come on. Can you give us an unbiased take, Noli?
I think he's gonna be all right because they're not game planning for Debo, and Jaden Daniels is gonna dump it off to him behind the line of scrimmage, and then they're gonna have to realize basically all the attention is gonna be on Jaden Daniels from the jump. All eyes are on Jaden Daniels. Is he gonna run? Where's he gonna go with the football? And that leaves a guy like Debo Samuel out there in the open because a lot of people probably have the opinion that people here do where he's washed or whatever the case is.
There's a lot of people.
And he's got open freedom to be able to go out there and just kind of do whatever he wants to do.
If Scary Terry's on the other side, Debo's gonna. If Terry does play, which I do think he's gonna play for the Commanders, I do think when it's all said and done, a contract extension is gonna be done because there's no excuse for the Commanders not to get this deal done unless the Commanders are truly trying to save money and try to get Micah Parsons, which I don't think is going to happen.
I floated that. The Quinn connection,
because
bro. The Quinn
right
connection.
now you have Jaden Daniels on a rookie deal for another, including this year. You still have 3 more years of him on a rookie deal.
Peanuts.
So, because remember,
free.
it's a 5-year contract.
You got 3 years
4
of free
years,
football.
4 years of guaranteed 5th-year quarterback option. 9 times out of 10, if the guy's playing out of this world, they get their extension, but they keep the low cap number still. So you still got a total of 4 years at low cap numbers. So there's no excuse not to get this Terry McLaurin deal done. You want to put the most weapons around your young quarterback as you can. And you let your veteran leadership run through it while your quarterback develops his leadership. And I anticipate Terry to be on one side and Samuel on the other side. And if Terry's there, Samuel's going to have a good season.
I think he's going to eat this year.
Because some can argue, which I'm going to say, Terry McLaurin is better than Brandon Ayuk. More teams playing for Scary Terry than Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk is not an attractive name right now.
That means if Terry's on that field, he's going to have the corner right there, the safety up top watching him. Debo has nothing but opportunity. Grass,
everywhere.
grass.
Bro, nobody's there. It's
not to mention in the running game, you still got B-Rob and you got Eckler. Because not for nothing, Eckler was doing really good till he got hurt.
Yeah.
Whether anybody wants to admit that or not. So
they got a kid waiting in the wings.
And not to mention the old man at tight end, who I think is going to have another good season because the 2 wide receivers are going to force the other teams. The middle of the field is still going to be there for Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz is going to eat this year. And it's going to be all eyes on Jaden Daniels. He's going to have the defense. He's going to have the defense on their heels. Yeah, I think Debo is going to
100% true, Chris. How many times is Eckler going to get the dump off screen and run it 10, 15 yards down the field? Those are first downs. He might not be able to run it, take the dump off like he did 3 years ago for 45, 50 yards. But if he's taking it down the field 15, 20, it's still a first down. And you're still flipping the field.
Washington is going to show how you are supposed to use Debo if you're going to be running with your wide receiver.
I'll try and draft Javonte Williams before I draft Debo.
Well, I mean, I'll be nice.
Yo,
I'm not going to say
Javonte Williams is a part of the bloodline. Relax.
I ain't worried about Javonte Williams, bro. You can draft whoever you want. Debo is not a great route runner and gain weight. That's not a good mix. I'm not saying he's going to be option 1 for, the Washington Commanders. I think that he's going to be a very good option.
I do see a sophomore step back for Daniels.
Oh, Brian Robinson will break out this year because you have him, right? Not because he's going to break out. What's he going to break out of? What's he done? What is he going to break out of? The paper bag that has been trapped in his entire career? Why is he going to break out? What is special about Brian Robinson? What's different about Brian Robinson? At least Debo Samuel has a real resume that you can point to and say he's done this before. We're B-Rob, we're still waiting. But you can pair up B-Rob with Javonte Williams in the league if you want to draft them both together. I don't know. Your drafting's a little sus sometimes anyway, buddy. I mean, what can I say? You want to go crazy and draft them? You go ahead, bro.
You want to get nuts?
I'm going to say right now, man. It's very easy to sit here and say, Commanders are going to regress. Jaden Daniels is going to regress. They're going to suck all of a sudden after having a great year. They've done so many things within that organization to be able to revamp everything and get you to forget what that organization was when you had the bleachers and everything falling on people and people falling out of the stands and shit.
Look at Chris.
So, I think that this football team is here to stay. I think the Commanders are going to be a problem. I think Jaden Daniels takes the next step forward this year. I think Debo Samuel balls out. I don't know if they're going to pay Scary Terry because I think the organization does not want to pay that much for a wide receiver his age. So I don't know as far as them paying him. But I think that they're still going to find a way to be a competitive football team because that's just how good Jaden Daniels is. And they have the people in place. They have Kingsbury in the right position to be able to handle a Debo Samuel. And they have the pieces around Jaden Daniels to where, Everybody's saying this team's going to regress, but they've been saying the same shit about the Kansas City Chiefs for years. As soon as you have a good year, everybody's initial thought is, oh, regression. Why? Because you want your team to do better than that team? Or because you really feel like this team is just not going to be as good? There's no reason why this team wouldn't be as good other than the fact that they have a harder schedule this year. They're playing more competitive football teams, but they have potentially a top 5 quarterback under center, and they're going to figure the rest out. And I think the Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles are both going to be making the postseason from the NFC East. The Scary Terry thing, though, that's I don't know. I go as far as to say, don't be surprised if Debo cuts into Scary Terry's production, bro. I think that's the type of year that I think Debo's going to have. And we can go back and spin the block and have the conversation again later on down the road. You can remind me of it if I'm wrong. But I'm feeling what this football team has done. This contract situation is a little murky, but like you said, you want to be in the mix. You want to stay in the mix. You want to be relevant. What route are you going to take? Do you really feel like you can continue to be a top 5 team on the NFC side, bypassing paying a guy like Scary Terry, or do you lock him in, you put that conversation to bed, and you go out there and you focus on getting your 10 to 11 wins and competing potentially for the NFC East? It's a good position to be in for Washington because, for years, we weren't talking Washington like that. They didn't have much going on like that. All of a sudden, an NFC title appearance, and, now you bring Debo into the fold. They have to sign Terry to compete. I mean, when you look at it, who else is really out there? I think they get the deal done. I feel like they don't want to, though. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's like a whole thing like with the Jets when they gave Garrett Wilson the money because at the end of the day, they have no choice but to pay him, and lock in the young wide receiver. With Washington, maybe it gets to that point where they say to themselves, they're in the office and they're like,
spoke my piece.
They're like, guys, like, what else are we gonna do? Like, do we really let him walk? Scary Terry wants to be there. He wants to be with Washington. He wants to be with the organization. That's why I feel as though he's like a little salty and he keeps talking about it because it's like, damn, you guys haven't talked to me about an extension in a month. It's
I just got an alert on my phone. Jelly Roll has been training with Kevin Owens, Jacob Fatu, and The Undertaker.
No, it's like you're wondering if that one crush will text you back, but you're not getting the message that they're not sending you a message. And sometimes no message is the message.
Let's see if there's any updated news.
Do they have the cojones to pass up on a Scary Terry and go out there and say to themselves with a straight face, we are still going to go out there and we are going to compete in a stacked NFC?
Zach Ertz on the McLaurin contract situation today. It's July 16th. The first game is September 7th. That's a lot of time. Everybody knows Terry works his butt off. That sounds like confidence that he knows he'll be there.
Yeah. Like, it sounds as though it's one of those things where they just got to...
The Terry McLaurin contract dispute is the rare one where 90% of the fans are lining up on the athlete's side.
Washington fans want to get the deal done. They want to go out there and compete. They're excited for what they've got going on. There's a lot of good things happening out there. It's a premier attraction to go out there and play alongside Jaden Daniels.
How many years does he have left on his current deal?
Terry?
That's a good question. Let's ask Grok.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's a good question.
The scariest. Here we go.
Mike Williams on the pup list again. What else is new? Trey Harris also not at camp, the rookie that just got drafted by the Los Angeles Chargers. So there's a lot going on with the Chargers. A lot of things in different directions. Mike Williams on the pup list. Najee Harris almost blew his head off or blew his eye out with a firecracker. Yeah. I don't know what the hell he did, but the fact is he's on the NFI list right now. It's going to be a Marion Hampton season.
He's in the final year of his 3-year contract extension that he signed back in June 2022. At the time when he signed, the deal was worth $68.36, averaging 22 a year, and 34.6 of it was guaranteed. 28 of it was a signing bonus.
Who's going to be the Browns running back one, Oscar? That's the question. Who's going to be the Browns running back one? We don't even have a confirmed answer to who their quarterback one is going to be. And now we're asking ourselves who's going to be behind the quarterback when it's time for Quinshon Judkins to, dare I say, face the music. And let me tell you something. For all those of you who are waiting for the NFL to, strike him down with the hammer of justice, the NFL is worried about one thing, and that's the money. Okay? The NFL is going to continue to make money regardless of this situation. You've seen it throughout history before, time and time again. They will hand out the suspension next year at some point in time to Quinshon Judkins, who, when we talk about values and the conversation about where a player falls, and that's going to be another interesting talking point in itself, is in late August when we're drafting, how far down the board are we going to see Quinshon Judkins' name fall? I think that this gives an opportunity to the other young backs there. Definitely a Dylan Sampson, who they just so happen to draft in the same draft class. And you also still have Jerome Ford and
here's
Pierre
the devil's
Strong.
advocate.
Pierre Strong is still on the roster.
There's always two sides of the story. I'm not trying to support anything. Judkins' attorney, David Weinstein, has argued that the accusers' delay in reporting and their continued interaction, including staying together for 5 days and celebrating her birthday, suggests the allegations are exaggerated. The legal process is ongoing. No court date has been publicly confirmed. The Browns are reportedly planning their running game without Judkins for the immediate future.
She also waited a couple days to file the report, too.
Relying on players like Ford and Sampson, the situation adds to a pattern of off-the-field issues for the Browns, raising concerns about the team dynamics and public image.
Running back by committee.
He's going to get a contract, but now his contract's going to be pretty shitty for him as a second-round pick, because now there's going to be a lot of language in there for him to get in trouble, incentives, like
ways out.
Do I still see him playing this year? I absolutely do. I don't see a suspension happening this year because the NFL waits till everything is, all the legal process is done, from the time he's arraigned till a court date till they find him guilty or not. Once that happens, that's when the court goes on. That's when the NFL starts their thing. Last year, 2 years ago, we thought Alvin Kamara was going to get suspended. He never did. He ended up getting suspended this past season. Jordan Addison, last year, we thought he was going to get suspended. They let the legal process play out. It looks like if he's convicted, it's going to be the first 3 games of the year. So
maybe 6. Maybe 6.
Maybe 6 is positive.
Is that the standard for the first offense? Right?
Yeah. But right now,
games.
all the reports show 3 for Addison for some odd reason.
3 for Addison.
I think it's
that's
because,
the DUI thing.
But
that's
6
the DUI thing.
for DV is 6. Yeah. So the Browns are going to play him regardless of the situation because the Browns have Deshaun Watson on their team. They have no moral high ground. So anybody's assuming that the Browns aren't going to play this guy, get the hell out of here with that.
And that fake moral high ground don't fly here, because if you're saying right now you're not going to draft Judkins, but you drafted Deshaun Watson, don't worry about that. There's no moral high ground, bro.
There is
This
none.
is about fantasy right here. We're not sitting here condoning anything that happened allegedly, but at the end of the day, we're here talking about the fantasy football and dynasty football.
Anybody in this room right now, anybody that's watching us, whether they're watching us live, they're going to watch us tonight, tomorrow, the next day, or the next day. If you're playing fantasy football and round 6 is coming up and all them studs are gone and Judkins' name's there, it might even be before round 6.
I love
it might be round 4.
I love when people,
you're going to pick them.
I love when people tell me who they're going to pass up on, because then I'm like, perfect. I will take that, and I will make my team better, and I will eventually eliminate your team.
I'm not condoning
high ground.
If he truly did what he did, I ain't condoning it.
Not at all.
Not condoning it.
This is about
he's gonna pay. He's gonna pay his time. He's gonna do his. He's gonna. If he's convicted, he gets suspended. He pays his.
And also, bro, why are you punching girls in the thigh and the arm, bro?
Yeah.
You punched her in the mouth, and then you're gonna punch her in the arm and the thigh, allegedly. Like, come on, bro. Smart enough. Like, but it sounds as though he's in a situation where it's a super toxic, situation that they've got going on, because it took her a couple of days to actually file the report too.
Yeah.
So who knows what happened in between that
time.
More of the story is going to come out. I'm just asking as a concerned Samson dynasty owner.
I would have him.
Samson's in a good position no matter what. Samson with Judkins.
We've seen Jerome Ford now for 2 years. We thought Jerome Ford was going to have these breakout season last year, and he did absolutely, positively nothing. And that's with Nick Chubb not even playing, the first 2 months of the year?
This isn't going to inspire him to do anything
Jerome
else.
Ford is nothing. Anybody who's buying Jerome Ford stock right now,
stop. Careful. Isn't that Mikey's
I don't care.
Careful how you talk about
Stop buying Jerome Ford stock. Because, look, he had an opportunity. Here's the thing. Jerome Ford was young enough and had a golden opportunity last season to take over the running back job for Cleveland. And even with a subpar Nick Chubb, he still couldn't do it.
It's like
Are we going to blame the quarterback situation again?
It's like the Zamir White situation all over again.
Yes, Zamir White had an unbelievable opportunity last year.
Right there for him.
Yo,
the job was right there.
The Raiders said, "Here, take it,"
and
he couldn't do it. So now look who they got.
He threw it over to McCormick.
Junkins is not the answer. Junkins is the answer.
Junkins is not the answer, guys. Exactly. Yeah, Oscar.
Junkins is the answer.
Not the answer.
Just maybe not this year.
I sold Ford and Dak for a first and a third.
And whoever bought it was an idiot.
They're in our league.
I know who it is. Ford. What were you thinking?
Well, they were thinking that he's going to get an opportunity.
No, Samson is going to get a bigger opportunity.
Is Ford even going to be under contract with the Browns next year when Junkins gets suspended? So he's not even a factor in the situation with the Browns.
At the end of the day,
Samson is good, bro. You're good.
Here's the bad part about the NFL. Even though if he does his 6 games, Junkins is so talented that he's going to get his chance. Whether anybody is going to like it or not, Junkins is going – he's superiorly talented than the other two, that he will get the opportunity when it comes. And Browns fans, skip the moral high ground because you got Deshaun Watson on your team. Knock it off.
There's no Browns fans out there. Who are you talking to?
And who's going to be the quarterback of the Browns? It's most likely Flacco, because the initial report came out from Cleveland that Sanders is 4th on the chart right now. So
they got 5 quarterbacks still out there.
Probably.
So he's behind Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel. There's a 5th one.
Just because your jersey's
Watson.
Yeah. Just because your jersey's selling doesn't mean you're good, dog.
So Watson's a 5th, or is it Gabriel?
Well, Watson's probably not going to play this year with the Achilles tear, and his career's probably done.
This team is never going to be complete. Like, you are not going to see the true form of this football team for a while.
So, with the whole Junkins thing, I think Junkins still is going to be the starter this year. But I think next year, if he's convicted and all that, have your Samson guy ready for the first 6 games of the 2026 season.
That's somebody you go get.
And whoever the Browns also pick up.
That's somebody you go get
for that.
Sampson. As of right now, it's looking like next year it's going to be Dylan Sampson and Pierre Strong.
Ooh, that's going to put a lot of butts in the seats.
So Dylan Sampson might end up getting your team set up at the beginning of the year.
And if you're a Quinshawn Junkins owner, guess what? He comes back in the second half of the year, fresh, could win you a championship.
If you're a Quinshawn Junkins owner, yes, his name is going to fall a bit in redraft. But if you're talking about dynasty, like, there's probably a surplus of people trying to sell him off or whatever the case is. If I had Junkins right now, I'd keep him because it's dynasty. This storm shall pass. And at the end of the day, he's still going to eventually take the reins.
I don't want anyone that's watching is thinking we're giving him a pass for what he did or what he's being accused of.
No.
But we're just talking the reality of things.
We're not the private investigators of the police. We can't arrest him. I just need to know if he's going to win me a championship.
Y'all are still going to pick him in your fantasy team, so don't condemn us. We're just speaking base reality. We're not giving you We're not giving you fake. We'll never touch him because that's a lie.
I mean, that's all the.
When
all
it comes to money, you guys will sell your souls quick.
That's all the same shit about I'm gonna boycott the NFL. I'm not watching anymore. It's rigged. Bah, 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 bah. And then Sunday comes, and your ass is sitting there yelling at the TV, watching football once again,
asking why we're running a screen on third down,
holding, pass interference.
So yeah, with the whole. There's a lot. It's like, I'll tell you, who's got an excellent chance now to like really be the starter is Omarion Hampton. After Najee with the whole fireworks incident.
Nothing in his way.
I truly think that Harris is going to be just the goal line back for them. Originally, I thought maybe Harris was going to get a lot of opportunity. I think Harris is going to be treated like a inside the 20-yard line.
Just treated like a dummy.
Which I'm worried about as an Omarion Hampton owner is that Hampton's going to do all the dirty work, and then Harris is going to come in and take the touchdowns.
Kamani Vidal is going to be active too. Kamani Vidal is going to be this is a 1 year into the league, very young still. Like we still don't know what he's about, and he I think is going to be used within that offense. It sounds like Najee's not going to be on the NFI for a while. However, the fact that they had to put him on the NFI in the first place lets you know he ain't ready for training camp. Whatever he's got going on, maybe he got the Undertaker mask over his face.
Said the original rumor was that he may have been blind in the eye. Or blinded.
Dude.
It was very secretive what happened.
Next year on 4th of July, please be careful, bro. It's really not worth it, bro.
Didn't y'all learn from JPP?
Really not worth it. You can't just go see the fireworks. You gotta hold it in your right up to your face. It's not enough.
Didn't a rapper lose like half his hand this past year too?
Apparently, it's happening every single year. This is one, and then as the team, as the organization, you just brought this guy into the organization. Imagine getting that report on your desk in the front office. GM, what happened to him? Firework? You kidding me? What are you lighting fireworks for? Professional football player in the NFL.
Even avoid your guaranteed money if they want. Like, dude, you just signed a 1-year deal that's practically worth $5 million.
What are you doing?
Because the only way you get that other $5 to make it close to $10 million is through incentives.
Choices, bro. Choices. Can we learn anything from? Apparently not, bro. Even worse, this guy had the firework next to his head. I don't even know what he was thinking,
with
bro.
The sparks and
or are you trying to go live on Instagram, showing yourself light a firework, and you lost track of time?
And then
you mistimed it.
You see videos of Jaylen Warren, who I've ostracized.
Bastardized.
On 4th of July doing drills and exercises, and I'm
working,
like,
bro.
Well,
he's working.
That's a guy who I think, honestly, I'm probably gonna in redraft. I'm probably gonna go after him a little high.
Here's a question for everybody.
I think he could probably give you, with no Najee Harris, and you got the rookie Caleb Johnson.
Hampton's gonna fly. You want to talk about somebody?
I'm talking about Jaylen Warren.
Oh, for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think he's going to get picked up high because I think
nobody from Pittsburgh.
Jaylen might have about 600 yards rushing and 600 yards receiving.
I will be looking for him after I draft Juwan Jennings in the 8th, 9th round. And if I see Jaylen Warren there sitting in the 10th, oh, yeah, we're bringing that home because that's good value to me. I like the rookie that you guys picked more than him.
Caleb Johnson, he's a bruiser.
Caleb might be in a position to take over the backfield sooner than some of the other rookie running backs that got drafted this year.
Not Hampton. I think Hampton's going to get his.
Well, he's in that mix too. Hampton,
Genty's got the job right off the bat.
I think that Caleb is off the rip soon enough. They're going to realize, okay, we got to keep feeding this kid the rock.
For Trayvon Hendrickson, I think his way to starting depends on if Ramondre doesn't fumble the ball.
See, I think him and Caleb have the same trajectory. I think it's only a matter of time before there's smart people in that building. Eventually, it's we got to give the rock to Henderson. That's if we're trying to do this, if we're trying to win games.
Trayvon is a Mike Vrabel running back, just like Caleb is an Arthur Smith running back. those are what those two guys look for, running back. So you're 100% right that we could see them starting sooner than later.
To me, they're gonna.
But I'm willing to say this year, I think Jaylen Warren gets a lot of burn too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not so much Kenny Gainwell. He's going to be on the outside looking in, but
I would not be surprised if Gainwell got cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Here's one for you.
There's a lot of people.
Is Matthew Golden what the Packers have been missing? And this is a two-parter. Where do we rank Jordan Love? He's currently ranked right now in Dynasty ADP 12th overall. Here's some of the names that Jordan Love is ahead of. I'm going to pull it up right now. So it's a two-parter. Is Matthew Golden the wide receiver that this team that has nothing but wide receiver twos needs? Can he be that guy? And also, these things go hand in hand because the guy that's throwing him the ball, like where at this point do we rank Jordan Love? I'm sorry, his ADP is 13. His ADP is 13, not 12. 12 is Kyler Murray. But Jordan Love in his ADP for Dynasty is ahead of Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, J.J. McCarthy, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott. Some big names there. How are we feeling about this this Packers offense?
I think Jordan Love is an inconsistent fantasy quarterback. I think Jordan Love gives you weeks that you're like, yeah. Then he gives you weeks where you're like, what are we doing? Who are you throwing the ball to?
Yeah.
Like Green Bay, we were so used to Aaron Rodgers, who was a gunslinger, like he still took care of the football. Brett Favre was a gunslinger, but he may have thrown 2 picks, but he would throw like 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like this guy will throw 2 touchdowns and like 4 interceptions, or 2 touchdowns and 3. Like when Jordan Love is off, he's off.
They can get hot in the playoffs when they get there.
Yeah, he's a different.
They can do that.
He's a different guy.
They can lock in when they get into that. You know what I mean? Like they'll look like a totally different team.
He just had a bad. He had a bad first half in Philly this year.
The road there is not.
I thought his second half wasn't as bad as the first half.
Yeah, because it's like
the Packers started really, really slow.
It's like when they have no choice and their back's against the wall, and it's like now we got to mount this comeback. But they are very good at putting themselves in the hole early in some of these matchups. Unless it's like a situation where they own Dallas pretty much, but when they're going up against another team, like a team like the LA Rams, like a team that can match some of that firepower, it's like, I don't know.
Here we go. I'm looking up his week-to-week stats.
It's not always pretty with Green Bay.
So this is how he started out, and a lot of people are going to argue, well, he got hurt, blah, blah, blah. So 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He got hurt, didn't play 2 weeks. Came back, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. This is where it gets spooky. After that, no touchdowns, 1 pick. No touchdowns, 1 pick. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Then his numbers, he didn't throw no picks, but let's do his touchdown numbers. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. What does that do for you in fantasy for your quarterback?
Not enough. Not in a 2 QB league, buddy.
And he only threw for 3,300 yards.
Pedestrian. That's the best way to describe that. Are they bland? Are they a bland offense for the most part until they're down 3 touchdowns and they kick up and they show you what they could be potentially? Like
I just think he may be one of the most overhyped players in the league. And I'll catch heat for it. I don't care. I've always said that. I think Jordan Love is an overhyped player.
Well, Chris could say, I could say top 15, but I would definitely take Goff and Baker over Love in fantasy, and that's also based on the weapons those other guys have as well. I'd take Dak over Love. I don't feel like that there's much to think about there. If we're talking fantasy football, I'll take Dak over Love.
You're right. No arguments
here.
If
he's top 15, he's number 15. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's definitely a good way to put it. All right, here we go. What? I'm going to drop another question in the comment section here.
Do it. Do it.
Here we go. Boom.
What teams are being slept on the most right now?
I'm going to go back to the
you've already said about the 49ers.
San Francisco is one of the teams.
You're big on that.
I think that after they're being written off, and people seem to forget that when the 49ers deal with an injury, it's not just one guy, it's like 20 guys. And it's either that type of year or they're in the playoffs type of year. There's never really an in-between with this 49ers team. It's all gone to shit due to the fact that, some of Shanahan's decision-making literally hurts his players. This whole not having Brandon Ayuk for a month and a half, that's going to suck. That's going to be tough. That's one thing I'll say. Like that first 6 to 7 weeks, I'm interested to see how they look, who they're going up against, how Christian McCaffrey looks, and also knowing, even if he's healthy, knowing what you know about Christian McCaffrey, the years that he spent with your organization and what you've had to deal with Christian McCaffrey, I'm interested to see how they infuse Isaac Guerrero in order to prevent a situation where, guess what? We don't have McCaffrey now in November and December when we're going to need him the most. Because to me, I look at them as they're going to be a wild card team that some weeks are going to be a little bit rough, you know what I mean? But if they survive, they get through the rough patches, I see the team making the playoffs. I don't know how far they're actually going to go when they get there. They usually tend to go pretty far up until Shanahan hits a wall, but
save that.
The Ayuk and Shanahan right now are the two murkiest situations about the San Francisco 49ers. Like, the team can draft well. Purdy is their guy no matter what. Ricky Pearsall, talent. Jawan Jennings, talent.
The defense should be better back with Salah back there.
That's another thing, bringing him back home, bringing him back into the fold, what they've got going on. That's going to be a good boost for them. It's one of those things where, we're assuming, because they jettison all these players, this defense is going to be bad. Like, that doesn't necessarily hold up. They got hurt last year. They were hurt. Everybody was hurt. They were losing people left and right. They couldn't win with the staff that they were putting out there. They were understaffed. Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. That's definitely a good point. But that's one team, and then another team.
If he's top 15, he's number 15.
Yeah, I agree with that. With Love, another team.
Look at this, Grok. I asked Grok what NFL teams are being overlooked for the
Bengals, number one.
Number one,
guys, stop hating on them boys.
The Bengals. Why are they overlooked? The Bengals struggled in 2024, winning only 9 games and missing the playoffs due to a lack of balance on both sides of the ball. Particular injuries to elite players, Higgins. However, their elite trio of Burrow, Chase, and Higgins give them a high ceiling. Why they could surprise. Burrow ranks second in NFL in PFF passing grade. The team lost 7 of 11 one-score games, suggesting they're close to a playoff caliber record. Then their 9-8 finish continued. The defense showed improvement late in the season, ranking 5th from week 14 to week 18. With better health and execution, they could challenge the top AFC team like the Chiefs. Number 2, the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a good one.
A disappointing 2024 season marked by injuries to key players like Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons, combined with a coaching change. Brian Schottenheimer, promoted the head coach, has lowered expectations. Why they could surprise. With Prescott back and a talented roster, the Cowboys are poised for a rebound. Their draft class was strong, addressing key needs, and their history of 12-win seasons in prior years suggests they can return to form if their offensive and defensive lines are improved. I got one for you here. The Colts at number 3. Inconsistent quarterback play, along with a defensive collapse late in the season, kept them out of the playoffs. Why they could surprise. Head coach Shane Steichen has shown he can generate offensive production without elite quarterback play, as seen with Gardner Minshew in 23. The addition of Tyler Warren, a dynamic pass catcher, and a strong running game led by Jonathan behind a solid offensive line could make them competitive. The quarterback competitions between Richardson and Jones will be key, but the roster's talent suggests they could sneak into the postseason. Number 4, the San Francisco 49ers. Why they could surprise. Have the easiest projected schedule in 2025. And their roster is loaded with talent when healthy, including Purdy, Bosa, and Warner. They led the NFL in adjusted games lost to injury in 2024, so a healthier season could see them return to double-digit wins. And the last team, the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh.
Why they could surprise. The Seahawks defense, led by head coach Mike McDonald, is expected to be strong. Their new offensive pieces, including 2 new receivers, could get under Kubiak's system. If Darnold maintains his 2024 Pro Bowl form, they could outperform expectations.
So what do you think about that last one with the Seahawks? Because that's the two-parter in itself.
Depends.
That means Sam Darnold.
Do you get Sam Darnold from September, October, November, and the first half of December? Or do you get the Darnold we knew that played in the last half of December? And in that abysmal playoff game.
We all gave him props for the time that he spent as a backup out in San Fran, and then he goes and
because even when Geno Smith lost, because they made the playoffs, right, with Geno? The first year when Geno
right?
I could have sworn they did it. And I think they lost, but they played a really close game.
It all kind of blends together there. But that was another question that we discussed with Sam Darnold. Like we were rocking out, and somebody posed the question, like, is he gonna like perform? You know, is he gonna be able to? I guess there's so many unknowns out there in Seattle right now with that new regime, and now he's out there. They paid him. You've got JSN, Kenny Walker. You got some pieces in place in a division that I think is going to be pretty tough. At best, I think they could end up being the third best team in that division, and that might not get you a spot in the dance as far as the tournament goes. I think that we get a mix of both, like what you were saying. Like we get the Sam Darnold that was good, but we also get the end of the season Sam Darnold because
yeah, he did take him to the playoffs that year when he won the Comeback Player of the Year. That his first full season starting for them.
I think Geno.
They lost to the Niners 41-23.
I think Geno.
He had his worst game of the year. An INT, a fumble.
Geno Smith is going to put better numbers up than Sam Darnold this year, I think. I'll say that.
And they did miss the playoffs last year, but, he still won 10 games. The Seahawks still went 10-7 last year.
I don't think the Raiders make the playoffs.
So, honestly, Geno Smith, since he's had this resurgence, has been a better quarterback. He's smarter, and now he's back with Pete Carroll, who he took to the playoffs that year he started.
I don't think they make the postseason, but I think that the Raiders overall, I think, will make a little bit more noise than Seattle this year. I think I trust Geno a little bit more.
I don't think the Raiders make the playoffs, but I think the Raiders can go. A 7-10 season for the Raiders is a big year for the Raiders. Or even an 8-9 season is better than what they've had in.
Yeah, you take what you take.
I wouldn't be. They still have a lot of holes. So if you can get to 7-10, 8-9, that's a good year, and that's a good first year on the. Like Pete Carroll has the history of getting guys to play. Like his first year with the Seahawks, I believe they went 7-9, and they missed the playoffs, but they were in pretty much playoff contention the whole year. Yeah. After that, he was winning 10+ games a year for like 6-7 years in a row. I'm not saying Geno's that guy still, but I think Geno could win.
Chris, I'm not drafting Cooper Kupp. I'm not touching Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is an example of why the Commanders don't want to pay McLaurin.
But Cooper Kupp's older. He's like 33.
Right. But what are they? Terry's
27,
locked into a 4-year deal.
Oh, that's all right. He should still be
31.
He should still.
I'm just saying it's an example.
You're still going to get prime years of Terry.
It's potentially an example of what they could be using as why
your prime years of Kupp are gone.
I'm good on Cooper Kupp. I don't know how productive he's going to be out there. I actually forgot that he was out in Seattle, but I think this is one of those things where it's kind of the end of the line. You'll be happy for whatever you can get from him, but temper your expectations. And I don't want to have to deal with the stress of having to move around the Cooper Kupp from IR to my style. I'm just, that's one of those guys that, I'm fading. I'm just saying it's an example of why you don't give the player the long-term deal. I'm saying is what I'm potentially saying. Like, it might not be like an accurate comparison, so to speak, but it's just one of those things where in this, like, the Rams did not pay Cup. You know what I mean? Like, the Commanders could be looking at that and saying to themselves, like,
according to
otherwise,
sources,
like, why haven't they done it yet? Why haven't they locked them into a contract?
According to sources, the Pittsburgh Steelers have reached out to the San Francisco 49ers regarding a trade for wide receiver Jawan Jennings. The Niners have informed Pittsburgh and other interested teams that Jennings is, I repeat, not available.
Good job. Good job, San Fran. Way to go. I don't want anything from Pittsburgh, all right? I don't want to deal with that either. Sorry. Just pass, all right? I know that they need a wide receiver too, you know what I mean? Calvin Austin, yada, yada. But that right there, just, no. I want Juwan to stay where he's at, be the focal point for as long as you can be the focal point, even after Ayuk gets back. Get your points, player, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. You guys tried it.
I mean, I'm not mad.
Well, you guys are still in the hunt, though. That's not the only phone call. That's not the only team that you've probably reached out to. It can't be. You're looking for another wide receiver. It's just a matter of, like, who out there is going to be able to, you know, fit the need of the Pittsburgh Steelers as far as the wide receiver 2 goes, and who's going to be available to you guys.
Listen, if they keep reaching out,
I don't know. Running out of names, man.
I will say this. I looked at it today. They got $75 million next year to play with. So,
Alexis Arroyo, is that one of those? Wait,
is this a trade, or are you tagging somebody?
I think it might be a tag. Yeah. All right. So, what do you think are the teams that are being slept on? You read the list, but, like, what are your
list? I kind of agree with that list.
Pretty spot on. Seahawks was one I wasn't thinking about, but I think I'm still sleeping on them even after, because I just thought about it. Sam Darnold and the team. I just don't. And to me, third best in the West don't get you shit.
Nah,
and if I think the Raiders are going to be better than you, and I don't even think the Raiders are making the playoffs.
Out of all of them, the two I'm most high on are Dallas and the Colts. The Colts, because they're in a subpar division.
Good way to put it.
It's one of the weakest divisions in football. So if you can get 10 wins, you probably win a division.
Yeah. I don't think they get 10, but there's a team that I think does.
Daniel Jones is going to win the starting job, and I think Dimes is going to have a very Sam Darnold-esque year with the Colts.
Richardson's not even ready to play, though.
I don't
think
Richardson's
incapable to play.
The team gave up on. I mean,
he's got the job
after he pulled himself out with the whole thing about him tired. The team, I honestly believe, just lost all faith. I think the whole team gave up on him. So you bring Daniel Jones in. I think Daniel Jones could have that kind of year he had with the Giants the year they made the playoffs.
It feels kind of like he walked into a vacancy. Like,
this team this is going to be the best offensive line he's ever had in his career, bar none. He's getting a running back that's almost similar to Saquon Barkley.
I think Taylor's going to be great this year.
Michael Pittman is going to have a big bounce back year. He's finally healthy.
I don't know about that.
You got the tight end, Warren, that they drafted, I think is going to be a big deal. I think Josh Downs is going to have a good season as well.
I like Josh Downs. I'm not a Pittman guy. I'm done. Pittman is on that same list with Cup. Y'all can go ahead and draft your Pittmans and you can draft your Cups. I want no parts of that mess. Josh Downs, the slot receiver, is going to be that Wan'Dale Robinson role in Indy that Danny Dimes had out in NY with Wan'Dale. I think that's gonna be the fit with Downs.
I think Jones is gonna. I think Jones's ceiling is 8 to 10 wins.
Interesting.
I really think the Colts could be a wild card team or even make a run for the division.
They fit the mold of a sleeper.
Because I don't think Jacksonville's going to be good this year. I think that new head coach, you're going to find out that it wasn't all him why Baker Mayfield was so good, because Baker got the guy Dave Canales hired in Carolina, because Canales was only with him for 1 year in Tampa. And then he went and Baker followed, because, people try to say, new coordinator, Baker might not be good. Well, Baker's had 2 different offensive coordinators for the last 2 years in Tampa, and has balled out. Has thrown for over 80 touchdowns.
There's only one right answer here, and it's the team from New York, and it ain't the Jets.
Jets
are a good.
I know this is
Jets
crazy.
Are a good mention, though.
The Giants could be one of those sneaky last 7 seed teams.
Yeah, 1 year.
I think
is that Russ going all the way and finishing the year? Like how do you book that?
They had a very good draft. They had a good offseason with the talent they added on defense.
They have a fun defense. I'm interested.
Their defense should be a top 10 defense in the NFL.
That front four.
There's no excuses with all that talent. If that talent stays healthy, there's no excuse that the Giants defense should not be top 10. It just comes down to, is Russ going to look like Russ from the first half of the season with Pittsburgh? Or is Russ going to look like Russ for the month of December in Pittsburgh?
He's the shits, buddy.
Because the first half of the year, we were sitting back saying, oh, shit, Russ is cooking. Russ is back. I was saying that. I was like, oh, shit. Like, yo, did we just rejuvenate? Like, did Russ just have a rejuvenation in his career where Pittsburgh's going to end up, like, having to give him a contract extension until the new guy comes? And then December hit, and he got punched in the whole season changed in Pittsburgh, not in Philadelphia. They never win in Philadelphia, so I always throw that game out the window. The complexion of the Steelers' season changed against the Ravens when he had nothing but green in front of him, and he was running, and instead of cutting to the right, he takes on the defender and fumbles the ball. At that moment, you know how you sit back and you look for moments?
Yeah.
That moment
I remember that moment.
That was the cliff moment.
The Pittsburgh Steelers tried to ruin the Christmas party this year.
Yeah.
That's the slump that they went on in December lasted up until past Christmas, and they really tried to ruin.
I went into the
Christmas
New Year's
party.
Just saying,
in the grand scheme of things,
bro.
That's where that.
So it depends. If they get that Russ from the first half of the year, dude, the Giants are gonna be able to compete with people.
Can they still?
Because Russ is going to chuck the ball up. He's going to throw his moon ball. Malik Neighbors is going to have opportunities. Darius Slayton's going to have opportunities. I like the tight end that they drafted last year.
Can you still see a path for the Giants to get the 7th seed if they have to make a QB change? Or is that too much to ask?
Okay, so now that also asks if Russ was to get bent, I think the only way they get to the playoffs is if Russell Wilson's their starting quarterback.
If Russell Wilson is like playing well.
Yeah. But if he's not playing well, they're not going to be a good team. Like I had this conversation with Alexi today. Alexi thinks he gets benched by like in between weeks 8 to 12. He thinks that's like the sweet spot.
That's deep in this.
And I told him
if he's getting benched that late into the season, you got to be doing.
I said that means you got to be 2-6.
Right.
I told him, but if there are 1 or 2 games under 500 or 1 game under 500, he's not getting benched. He's not.
They're still competing.
Exactly. Because then all you need is
one
little streak.
It's got to look
to get like 2 or 3 wins, and then you're above 1, and then it's like, okay, let's keep going.
So if you're 3-4 going into week 8,
if you're 3, you're not benching. You're not benching.
You got to play that out.
Unless you're winning because the defense is winning and he's doing like 1 or 2 throws a game that's helping him. And then maybe you're just like, well, maybe if we throw Winston in there, let's see. But then Winston picks 6 City.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of different things with Winston.
I truly think Wilson.
Wild ride right
I think Russell Wilson's going to get them between 7 and 9 wins.
What if Winston ends up being better for Malik Neighbors, though? Like from the fantasy perspective, we have Malik Neighbors ranked
if
so
Russell
high
Wilson
everywhere,
starts
that
for the
has
Giants,
to come from somewhere.
Russell Wilson's he's the starter. They already said it.
Yeah, he's a starter.
I anticipate that guy going. My win total for them, I'm flirting with 7 to 8, 9 wins. That's what I'm flirting with them right now. As we sit here, July 16th, 2025, because we know in a month from now we'll be doing our predictions. We're probably going to say the NFC East, AFC East last because we just like to build that chocolate chip cookie up to the last week. And if that's the case and you bench him, I don't know if I want to throw Jackson Dart in there afterwards. I think I'm going to throw Winston in there. Because if you're doing terrible, why throw Dart in there in a bad situation?
Dayball hot seat too. Like, what are you going to do?
I don't think he gets fired.
Like,
if they win 7 or more games, Dayball is not getting fired.
7's the bar for the
Giants. Because it's an improvement from what you had. And if the team, say the team's losing 1-score games, and they're going to finish 8 and 9. And damn, if the ball broke this way or the ball broke that way, we could have been 9 and 8.
I think
that's improvement.
Eagles and
on top of that, you drafted this quarterback. What are you going to do? The whole offense he just learned, you have to change it now? If you were going to make the change, you were going to make the change before the year.
The division games for the Giants are going to make or break their season.
I think Malik Neighbors will have another – listen, Neighbors was catching passes from straight duds. Duds.
Can't get any worse, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the Rams winning the West? That's my pick to win the West. Honestly, I think the Rams could win 12 games this year. I think the Devontae Adams move for the Rams is absolutely amazing. Putting him with Puka Nacua, and I think Kyron Williams is going to have a top 10 running back year. He's going to go off. You could see a little bit of Blake Corum action. I like the Rams a lot this year. The Rams are one of those few teams that I think they could win the entire NFC, to be honest with you, not just the West. It's going to be a dogfight in that division. I could see them splitting with San Francisco because those division games are always tough. They're built kind of the same. They play each other hard. They tend to go on like winning streaks against each other. Like no matter how good the Rams are, those games within your division against a 49ers team that I think is going to be good as well. It's just going to be a tough dogfight, but I'm going to give the edge to LA. I think 12-5, 11-6 is a realistic expectation for what the LA Rams are going to have going on. A top 3 team on that side that, could potentially get to the NFC title game. They were the ones that played Philly the best last year out of anybody in the playoffs.
Wilson's stats for the 11 games he started for the Steelers. They went 6. We all know about the 5-game losing streak, how he started out 6-0. Then he lost 5 in a row. He threw 16 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions. I'm trying to see his fumbles.
Definitely a lot of close one-score football games last year for the Giants too, with everything going on. That kind of gets forgotten, like swept under the rug.
Yeah.
That was some heartbreakers.
So Russell Wilson's season was pretty consistent until we get to that last month of the year. Before that, he was throwing. He ended up throwing 16 touchdowns. He only played in 11 games because remember he was hurt. He was out the first 6 weeks with that hamstring. He finished with 2,500 yards pretty much. He only threw 5 picks. Like he protected the ball. And if Andrew Thomas is back, that'll be a huge, huge help to him because he knows his blind side is going to be protected.
Yeah.
So, everybody wants to make fun of him, but I'll tell you what. I think he may. The Steelers as a whole just sucked at the end, including the defense. Everybody was terrible. So there was a lot of blame game to go around. I just think, with him, it's going to be dump offs and it's going to be deep balls, and I think it kind of fits New York's game.
Is the true ceiling like a repeat of last year? Like
Neighbors is a exit? Neighbors is a deep play guy, and so is Darius Slayton. And we're going to see a lot of Tyrone Tracy. We're going to see a lot of Cam Scattenbow. So it's going to be interesting.
Theo Johnson's going to be out there. I think it's just a matter of can the Giants provide the run support to help what is going to be basically on paper a top 10 defense for right now.
Let me check that out.
Oh, okay. That just went down. Number 43 pick.
Let's see who the 43rd pick was.
That real quick.
We're getting close.
Now expected to trigger the rest of the second round picks to get signed per sources, which means that Trey Harris could be reporting, could be coming back to camp and getting his deal inked up with the Los Angeles Chargers. There's a good chance that Trey Harris potentially ends up being the wide receiver 2 of that football team. If he's good enough, maybe he gives Ladd McConkey a run for his money. Who knows? But I really like Trey Harris this year. Mikey knows that. Can't throw deep balls at the O-line. It's Swiss cheese. The Giants will give you everything you need and then some. Believe that. So I'm gonna.
And look who just made his appearance.
What's going on, Paul?
I tried to tag him and it wouldn't let me tag him.
I see 6 wins for the Giants, man. And so I don't know. It's just
damn. Why can't I find Adam Schefter's shit?
I don't think I believe Russ finishes the season, and if they are making a quarterback switch that late in the year, I don't feel like it bodes well for
look what
the team.
I'm trying to find the thing with Schefter. Look what Drew McIntyre post. Gunther versus Punk. 2 trash cans.
Toilets.
Yeah.
Jeez. This past couple seasons are doubtful. Look, man, I don't know if Russ finishes the season out as the quarterback. I think that there's going to be some bright spots.
So 49ers, to add context to what Mikey just reported, 49ers second-round pick Alfred Collins, the number 43rd overall selection, has just reached a 4-year, $10.3 million deal that includes over $9 million guaranteed, now expected to trigger multiple second-round signings. Until now, 30 of the 32 second-round picks remained without a deal. Collins will have 88% of his deal guaranteed, a huge jump over last year's number 43 pick. This is about the time where all these guys start signing, though. Because now we're about to hit the nitty-gritty.
Training camp's about to start. We got to get you in there.
Agents are also telling them, yo, we need to start playing if you want to get more playing time to get your incentives.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It is around that time. It's good timing, too. And that brings Trey Harris back, and all will be well.
I mean, I have nothing to worry about. The Steelers have signed all their guys already to their contract, so those guys will be there. So I ain't worried about that at all.
One thing that is important to worry about, I saw this on the ESPN Fantasy Show, some of the players that are going to be returning from injury. So what I did was I made a list of those players based on the research I was doing earlier, because it was pretty good, it was informative, it was interesting, and then I added my own little twist, and I said to myself, should this player not perform to said expectations once they get back, who will be the main benefactor on the team? You know what I mean? The next man up mentality. So number 1 on that list, of course, no brainer, it's going to be CMC. Coming back from injury once again. And, you got Isaac Guerrero waiting in the wings. Number 2, I've got Brandon Ayuk. When he comes back, whenever he does come back, who knows
you're
what
going to make Oscar a fan.
Number 3, I've got
Win
Chris
some
Godwin.
Games and he will.
Chris Godwin is the next one on my list. And then right next to his name, I put Mbuka, because kid's going to be a star. Mike Evans is going to eat still because he's Mike Evans. He's one of the best to ever do it, Mike Evans. And then I got Stephon Diggs, and then I put question mark next to him, because in Stephon Diggs' absence, I really don't know who's going to step up as far as those wide receivers go. It could be Douglas. It could be Polk. There's other guys there, lower tier guys, Efton Chisholm. We really don't know. We got to familiarize ourselves with this Patriots team that we're all kind of falling in love with a little bit all of a sudden because of all the changes. And then the last name on the list is Rashee Rice. And next to his name, I put Xavier Worthy. So to me, those are those guys where it's you might be a little scared of them, and then right next to them are the potential safer plays that'll cost you a lot less when it comes to the end of August. Your drafts are lined up. You got to make your picks, and, you're looking to add those depth pieces that could end up taking over if they need to, if said players can't stay healthy. We're looking for a new QB room, certainly improved defense. The O-line has improved from previous years. Oof. I don't know about Russ finishing out the year, man. I don't know. They could throw Dart out there. They could throw Jameis out there. I don't It's definitely gonna be. I'm gonna be watching each and every week to see what these Giants end up doing, because I think the story of their season is basically going to be defined by the wins and losses within their division. I don't see a scenario where the Giants finish fourth in the NFC East and everything is just okay. I think heads will roll, and people will be held accountable no matter what happens this year. I think that next year, the fresh start, Jackson Dart, he gets the opportunity to be the guy. And no matter what, next year they build off of whatever comes out of this year. Yeah, I don't trust Russ. I don't think you just snap back like that. Like, we saw what Russ is, what he can give you.
Ricky Scoops on Twitter is just reporting that about 8 hours ago. White boy summer for edge rushers continues as the Chiefs are closing in on a new deal with George Karlaftis. Expected to be done during camp, but there is serious movement towards getting an extension done.
Oh, the Chiefs.
Ricky also called the Metcalf trade. Ricky called the Jalen Ramsey trade to the Steelers. Ricky also broke news early that Trey Smith was going to get his deal like 2 weeks ago. That was going to happen, and Trey Smith signed with the Chiefs today.
4 years,
$23 million per year.
$92 million extension.
He's got another one that
people shitting on the Chiefs for not investing in the trenches, and today they do it. So
the Ravens have made an extension offer to Isaiah Likely at $13 million per year, the same deal as Mark Andrews.
See ya. You already know what that means. See ya.
As Baltimore also figures to continue their push to extend Likely, Linderbaum and safety Kyle Hamilton were under contract through 2026 is also going to get more expensive as the league safeties get paid. So they're trying to get a deal done sooner rather than later.
Interesting.
He's just dropping his rumor bombs all day.
That's basically where we're at. This is the time of year to do it. This is it. All leading up to August, the preseason games, final cuts, elevations, promotions, demotions.
Positive news for Bengals. Ricky's reporting that I heard the Bengals and Trey were still fall apart. The Bengals gave him a deadline in the spring to find a trade, but the team didn't like the offer. The deadline passed, and I doubt he'll be moved. He will be extended, no idea when, but it's coming.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, did we just get some news? Von Miller to the Commanders?
That just happened? Oh.
Yes, it did.
Chris.
The Commanders are signing future Hall of Fame pass rush Von Miller. He has just announced it.
I'm busy, bro. I don't know. I like it. I like that team, bro. I like that team. I like Jaden Daniels. I like the coaching staff. I like what they're doing out there, bro. I like what they're doing.
Huh.
That's interesting, bro. Like, if you're Terry McLaurin right now looking at your phone and seeing that, who's the first person he reaches out to, right? Like, how does that, like, what do you guys, that's interesting, bro.
Really?
Jeez. Von Miller to the Washington Commanders. So it's not Minka Parsons, but, should he stay healthy? That's a player that could add a nice element to the defensive side of that football team. Sneaky, underrated defense, dare I say, last year. Commanders signing Miller is a short-term fix, and I can't imagine it helps their cap situation. I like the move. Was it a 1-year deal?
Yeah. Well, none of the deals, the details have been.
Wash your hands of it like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I think
I'm trying to see if something pops up.
More than ever, when you have contract negotiations going astray, signing old veterans to add to the young core that you have, now is when it becomes super duper essential for this team that is starting to spend a little bit of money now to be able to draft their asses off in the next couple of years up until the time where all this shit is probably going to blow up because they're going to have to pay Jaden Daniels top dollar. And 3 years from now, we have no idea what that could potentially mean. Yes, Von Miller to the Commanders. The news broke. Rhodes dropping in, letting us know what's going on as everybody else is. He posted it on Instagram right now. So here live on the pod. Jacoby dropped it first. It's going viral right now.
Falcons, breaking news. The Falcons are not planning to extend Kyle Pitts.
Oh. Interesting.
Ooh.
What are they planning to do? What's going on out there with that team?
I have no idea.
Like, I'm just thinking to myself, that wide receiver room is, they got Darnell Mooney. Besides Drake London, of course, you got Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod. Just, that's interesting. Where do you rank Michael Penix this year? Top 20? Or is that too high?
It's too high.
Top 25?
2025, okay.
Top 25 as the 25th ranked quarterback.
And how big is his leash?
I think they just run the ball all day out there. I don't think they're trying to throw. I don't think the Falcons.
Yeah, there's no details yet for this contract.
I think
I've refreshed my feed 3 times.
I think Bijan Robinson can potentially finish as the running back 1 this year, and they are going to run the shit out of the football. That's what I think is what the Falcons have in mind. Run. Let's focus on saying about baseball, not the pod. That relationship has always been weird in Atlanta. Missed you too, bro. Glad for you to be able to come in right at the right time to right when we're breaking some news as far as the Commanders. We talked about earlier the direction that they're headed. They're doubling down and staying competitive in a division that's going to be super competitive, and getting themselves a veteran presence in Von Miller to add to what they've got going on that team. It's a place that people want to go. It's a desired destination. Cap space, schmap space. They'll figure that out down the road because guess what? In 3 years, they got to spend more money than they can afford to lock in Jaden Daniels. Otherwise, he's going to go play somewhere else. And that ain't going to happen. They ain't going to allow that to happen because right now they're implementing their culture and they're everybody's excited to get back to watch their team on Sunday. Like, the community's excited. Like
David Portnoy is nearing a deal.
The Commanders win the NFC
with
East.
Let me rephrase this. According to Front Office Sports, Fox Sports is nearing a deal with Barstool Sports that would see David Portnoy appear on Big Noon Kickoff, sources tell FOS. Fox is betting on the move being a counterpunch to ESPN's Pat McAfee on College Game Day. Portnoy's he's a personality. People either love Dave Portnoy or people hate Dave Portnoy. It's kind of almost the same thing with Pat McAfee. The Falcons are like a kite stuck in a tree, about to be 5-12 this year.
I wouldn't be shocked, bro. I wouldn't be shocked because they look like, again, there's another year of asking ourselves, like, what the hell is Atlanta doing and thinking right now? And what the hell are you doing and thinking in one of the easiest divisions to win in football where you still can't manage to win it? You can beat Tampa Bay. You're capable of beating them. It's just Tampa Bay's still going to win more games than you. So at this point, it's a question of, okay, who's better, the Falcons or the Panthers? I can't answer that right now. I don't know. Like, I don't know if either one is good. Tampa might take that shit by a landslide. No one likes Dave Portnoy. The new dude, Zach, is the man. Move over, Dave. Pat over Dave. Dave can't even rate pizza correctly. What a tool. Gotta love it.
Still nothing. We'll probably get a better update.
More news is bound to come. We're getting closer to training camp and all that good stuff. Oh, Justin Ross waived by the Chiefs. Wide receiver on the open market for anybody interested. Yeah, that's That's really it. Nothing new. Well, I'm glad that we stayed on long enough to be able to catch the breaking news on Von Miller. That's pretty cool. Always good to wrap things up on a high note, especially when we started the pod by talking about, Washington and commending them on the things that they have done correctly, which is something that on this podcast for years we haven't really been able to say about them. Doing things correctly in Washington don't necessarily go hand in hand. So I'm not going to be so quick to write them off after their 1 year success. I think that they duplicate that, and I don't think they win the East, but I think they have the best shot outside of Philly to win the East. Let me put it like that. And we can't sleep on Dallas either, man. Like we're going into the season thinking they ain't gonna be shit, but what better way to shock the world and silence critics than to go into Philly on opening night in Philly and during the banner ceremony just absolutely ruin that whole thing by taking the W out in Philly. That would be some wild shit.
Yeah.
I'm not putting money on that, but I'm just saying, if you want to make a statement on a year where a lot of people are sleeping on you, you go to your main rival's backyard, you punch them in the mouth, and you say, Dallas 1-0, on to the next. Fox Sports should buy this podcast more than Dave. Fox Sports is losing a lot of people.
I haven't been on the
Joy
pod
Taylor
so
just
long.
got fired.
Oscar got the long hair now.
Silver Fox. Rose, I know you've been busy, buddy, but glad that you took the time to tune in, man. I actually thought you got cut. It looks shorter than what I remember. So you trimmed it down.
I haven't cut it since May. Even
Thinks
before
the best
that.
pizza is in Connecticut. That's
best pizzas in Jersey.
Connecticut is wild. That's crazy work. That's just somebody going online and trying to give a different opinion just to create backlash. That'll incite riots right there. But yeah, man, I think that pretty much covers all the bases for tonight's podcast. We hit all the bullet points, the good, the bad, the ugly, potentially what the future holds for some teams that we may have differences of opinions on as far as their trajectory and what we project them, whether they'll be good, whether they'll be bad. And it's like we chose teams that are kind of, and to some extent, kind of right on the fence right there, where it can go either way for them. But we could say that for any football team. One key injury to a key player changes all of this. And the key to fantasy football is drafting good players on good teams. It's as simple as that.
Fox Sports should buy this podcast more than Dave. Yeah, they should.
Don't overthink it.
That way I ain't got to work a 9-to-5 job.
Well, I'd love for this to be my job. I'm working on it. That's the goal. Shane Gillis is playing Madden in a bio.
No, that's
Christian Bale? No, that's sorry. Christian Bale's playing Al Davis. I don't.
Yes,
right?
Christian Bale's playing Al Davis. I think Nicolas Cage is Madden. Look that up real quick to confirm that.
Let's see here.
Here it is. Nicolas Cage is John Madden alongside Christian Bale. Shane Gillis is in the movie. Don't know who he's playing. Nicolas Cage is John Madden. Christian Bale is Al Davis. John Mulaney is Trip Hawkins. Catherine Hahn is Virginia Madden, John's wife. Sienna Miller is Carol Davis, Al's wife. And Shane Gillis, we have not got it.
Dave Portnoy is the Dave Meltzer of sports.
It will depict the life of football legend John Madden and his involvement in the development of the Madden NFL video game.
All right.
The movie comes out next year?
Well, next week on the podcast, McLaurin watch. Does he get paid? Does he not? Juwan Jennings, does he get paid? Does he get traded? In my opinion, Jennings gets paid because the deadline to trade him was like within the next couple of days, and I don't think the 49ers are going to be doing that, so they're going to pay him. Leaning towards McLaurin getting paid, but there's a part of me that feels like this organization really doesn't want to do that. So that's going to be – and then the news breaks that they signed Von Miller today. So it's just one of those things that kind of makes your head scratch. Like, they're active. The Commanders are online right now. It's just a matter of what is the next move that they are going to make. Trade Jennings to the Giants. Ooh. NFC trade? You think the 49ers would even entertain that? I don't know,
bro. I think he still stays.
I think he stays.
Unless somebody really knocks their socks off.
He stays, man. If it was a question of Ayuk being ready for week 1, then okay, like then we can explore it. But we don't have a wide receiver 1 right now until October, in the middle of it, and even then, who knows what he's gonna look like. I know that every day they're thinking, man, I regret this deal.
Well, they can get out of it after this year, so
they gotta. It
was essentially a 2-year deal the way they worked it.
That is just something that, as much as I like San Fran going into this season, I just the Ayuk situation is just like get that out of the mix, and I think everything out there looks a whole lot better. And 49ers find themselves right back at the top of the NFC, sooner than later. Because their bad times don't last as long as some other teams' bad times. That's one thing. Yeah. And Mikey says that the Giants don't need Juwan Jennings. So.
I'm sorry, they have to wait till 2026. After the 2026, they could get out of the deal.
Well,
sounds about right with me today.
Yeah, that pretty much covers everything. We're still going to be on the lookout for who gets paid, who doesn't. Why not? Can never have enough weapons, Mikey. Well, Mikey thinks you guys already have enough weapons. He's out on the whole Juwan Jennings thing. He just wants to rock it out with who you guys have right now. I think Jennings would help out with what's going on out there, but I also think that the San Francisco 49ers need what he can provide based on what they've got going on this year.
Maybe Gillis plays like a Madden from like later on in life. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because the way he looks on this video that Paul just sent me, it looks like him.
I don't know. I'll probably watch it like 5 or 6 years from now. I'll forget about it. I'll forget that it's coming out. I'll say I'll watch it.
If it's not the MCU, he's not watching it.
I'll say I'm going to watch it, and then I don't. And then 5 or 6 years from now, I'll be scrolling, and I'll say to myself, you know what? Let me give this a shot. And then I'll start talking about the movie like it's brand new, even though everybody's already seen it and they're already over it and shit. Like he needs to stop drinking the summer Kool-Aid. We're not suffering. Is that what he's drinking, the summer Kool-Aid, the blue and red mixed up?
I mean, at least this year we don't have 12 and 5 every 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, thank God that's over. That was a shit show. But yeah, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, next time, same place, On the Money Podcast, Mega Powers of Podcasting. We'll be here. We'll be bringing you all the news just like we did tonight. A lot to cover, and we're setting the table.
2 podcasts less till the Hall of Fame game.
The Hall of Fame game and our August breakdowns, where we take each week of August, we take the NFC and AFC divisions, north, south, east, west, and we break them all down.
And then September 3rd, we give you our Super Bowl predictions.
The night before the kickoff of the NFL season, you're with us for the eve of the opener as we break everything down.
Rob, you're not the first person to talk about the notifications. I got to figure that out. That's something I'm going to have to spend the weekend doing.
Yeah, we're going to look into that so that we are more prepared, so that we'll be able to get you guys more prepared for next week. Maybe get together kind of like around the same time as today and kind of just be set up and ready to go and have or at least be able to send
I'll just start tagging the shit out of everybody.
Just send out like, okay, guys, here we go. Like, you know what I mean? We'll figure it out. That's what we do. We improvise, we adjust, we adapt, and that's why All the Money Podcast and All the Money Sports stays around. Mega Powers ain't going anywhere but up, ladies and gentlemen. So next week, same time, same place, tune in, and we will have more coverage of the NFL and everything going on in training camp. Plus
Until then, stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you.